For 4 episodes, every answer a tool gave us was the same shape, text. Useful but flat. So here is the question that breaks that ceiling. You ask, show me my sales by region. What if instead of a paragraph of numbers, the tool handed back an actual interactive map, one you can click, hover and drill into right there in the chat? That is MCP Apps, an extension to MCP that lets a server return not just data, but a real user interface. And it changes what an AI assistant can be. First, the obvious objection. Why not just build a normal web app and send a link? Because the moment you leave the chat, you lose everything. With an MCP app, the interface lives inside the conversation. It keeps the context that led to it. It can call the server's tools directly and the host can push fresh data straight back into it. And it runs sandboxed, so the host can show it safely. Context, two-way data, and safety. A tab in your browser gives you none of that.
So how does it actually work? It is a clever reuse of things you already know. The core idea: a tool declares a piece of UI. Here is the pattern. A normal tool returns text. An MCP app tool adds one field to its description. A pointer that says, my output should be rendered by this UI resource. And that UI resource is just an address in MCP's resource system that returns an HTML page bundled with its JavaScript and styles. Now watch the sequence. When the model calls that tool, the host preloads the UI resource. It fetches the HTML from the server. Then it renders that HTML inside a sandboxed iframe, right in the conversation. And here is the magic part, the bridge. The app inside the iframe and the host talk to each other over a postMessage channel. And what do they speak? The same JSON-RPC dialect we have been learning all series. Some messages are pure MCP, like tool/call. Some are new, prefixed with UI. The app can request a tool call, send a message, even update the model's context. So the loop becomes alive. The user clicks a region on the map, the app calls a tool to fetch that region's detail, the host runs it, the server returns fresh data, the host pushes it back into the app and the app re-renders. Click, call, update. A real application driven by your AI living in the chat. And this is not a thought experiment. The reference apps already show the range. A Cesium JS globe you can spin, 3D scenes, a PDF viewer you can page through, live dashboards and heat maps, forms with validation, all returned by a server rendered inline. It is also a real ecosystem, not one company's idea. The pattern was pioneered by the community project MCP-UI and by OpenAI's Apps SDK, and is now being standardized as an official MCP extension, text/HTML to start. And it already runs in real hosts, Claude, Claude Desktop, VS Code's Copilot, and more. So recap. MCP apps let a tool return a live interface, not just text. A tool points to a UI resource. The host fetches the HTML and renders it in a sandboxed iframe. And the app and host talk over postMessage in the same JSON-RPC dialect, so the UI can call tools and stay in sync. But hold on, we just said it out loud. The host is running someone else's code inside your chat, next to your data and your tools. If that did not make you a little nervous, listen again. So the last episode is the one that matters most. How do you build one of these? And how do you ship it without getting owned? That is the finale. If MCP apps just blew the lid off what you thought MCP was, subscribe. One episode left. See you in episode 6.